Hey everybody. Hey, it's Angelina. Kaylin Angelina. And today this is my Taylor Swift TS12 Bingo Card. I have it right here. I sold it off the internet. No, I didn't steal off the internet. I made it, but I just like screenshotted it and then printed it because they were like trying to get me to pay like $24 to print it. So yeah. And I just want to, this is kind of like a TS12 predictions, um, video predictions, what I think will be on the album, what I hope's on the album. And I love making bingo boards so much, so I made one and this is like a bingo board for before we know absolutely anything about the album. Like, we don't even know if it actually is coming out anytime soon. I have to set this down. That's fine. I'll have it like this so it looks like a talk show or something. Hopefully this sounds good. Yeah, it's like a predictions video for TS12 before we know absolutely anything. Because there's some rumblings going on. I personally think that we are getting TS12 this year. I know a lot of people are like, we got Torture Poets last year, but I don't know why people won't get it through their brains that like Taylor does not care anymore. I feel like if she wants to put out an album, if she has an album ready, she's gonna put out that album. I don't think she's going through that, doing that every other year thing anymore. Even though, yes, the last couple of albums, Midnights and Torture Poets have been the every other year thing. I think that had a lot to do with her wanting to tour and with the re-records. And since that's out of the way, I feel like she is finally able to just get back to like the new stuff, and I feel like she's gonna want to do that as quickly as she possibly can. So I made a bingo board of what my hopes, predictions, and I'm just gonna tell you guys, and I think I'm probably gonna make another one after the album gets announced, maybe like, yeah, like when we have some information about it. Probably maybe even I might make it like a couple days before the album comes out, whenever that is, with the more information. But this is like going based off of like absolutely nothing other than like people being like, I think two at TSOs come out this year and whatever. So I'm gonna be making some of the predictions on here are like what what I think like lyrics are gonna be about, who I think is gonna be working on the album, and like subject matters and all that. So let's just get into the bingo board because I don't know why I'm over explaining this. Okay, so for my first, I don't know what these are called, like for my first one is at least 5 solo rights. I feel like that's a good guess, and this is at least solo rights. So if she has more than 5, I still get a point, but I think we're gonna get at least 5 solo rights from her on this album. I feel like that's a good, percentage or whatever number usually to like, it's a good median number to guess for solo rights. Next, I have August announcement. This is based on just what I want and also rumblings of things. I hear she's moving in September, but I think that we'll get to it, but I think the album would be coming out in October. So I feel like it would make sense that she would announce it in August. So we have like some time. So yeah, I think August announcement. I don't have a specific date for August. Maybe I guess the automatic coming to mind is August 12th or 13th, just because those are significant numbers to Taylor and to this album. So, or the 21st, I guess, could be another one because backwards. But yeah, August announcement's another one. Next is a magazine cover. Everyone wants interviews, and I just like don't like, they want her to do like Jimmy, like the talk show circuit, and I just don't see her doing that. I wish she would. I really, really want her to go on the Kelly Clarkson show, but I just feel like I don't think she would. I feel like she doesn't like maybe we would get a Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon, because she seems to like those two people specifically for interviews. But I just am not betting on that. I'm not bingoing on that. So I'm saying a magazine cover. I think we would get even like maybe a Rolling Stone and her just talk, because I feel like a magazine cover with an interview where she's reflecting on the Eras tour and what's next. Obviously, we kind of got that with the Time magazine, but I feel like one to promote. So like a Vogue, or what if she was on the September issue of Vogue? Because that's like a really big deal. Because that's like the start of the new fashion season or whatever. That would be really cool if we got a Vogue interview and cover. But also I could see Rolling Stone. Like I think it will be an interview magazine. Like I feel like it would be one of those, either one of those like more niche. Like I don't think she's about to be on the cover of Cosmopolitan or anything. I think it would be like one of the big music ones, like Wonderland, or one of the more artistic type of magazines. But magazine covers, more mine. Next is song with orchestral instruments. I had a dream a couple weeks ago that I met Taylor Swift, and she was telling me about, I'm being so serious, that she was telling me about TS12, and she was trying to play it for me, and it was like, she started playing a song, and it was like orchestral instruments. And then she said something about January, which I was like, and I gave her a look in the dream that was like, girl, that's too far away. And she looked at me like, what? And I'm like, yeah, that's too far away. But yeah, I had a dream where she was playing something from the album that she was working on, and it was orchestral instruments. So I'm just like going on my psychic abilities, obviously, and saying that we're gonna have at least one song with orchestral instruments. Next is a football reference. I feel like this is kind of a given. There's gonna be some type of, we already had the alchemy, but like something like that again, where it's like another reference, or you know how to ball and stuff. So I feel like we're gonna have another touchdown or whatever, some football word. Jersey, no, jersey, like football jersey. I don't know. Chiefs. I don't know. Next, TS12 out October 3rd, 10th, or 24th. This, I know it seems like cheating because like half the Fridays in October, but we don't even know for sure if she's releasing in October. But I'm saying October 3rd, 10th, or 24th. Each of those have a number. Okay, October 3rd is the 283rd day of like the calendar year or something, I think. And if you add all those together, it makes 13, and then you have the 3, 10, 10, 3, which obviously adds up to 13. It's also a couple days before her boyfriend's birthday. And then also October 10th, what did I forgot what it was. I said October 10th for. Then the 24th. So, yeah. Because 24, it would be 1024, and 1024 together is 34, and she's 34, right? I don't know if she's 34 right now, actually. Either she's 34 right now, or she's 35 and she would have recorded the album when she was 34. One or the other. I completely forgot how old Taylor Swift is just now. But anyway, so yeah, those are the dates. And I predicted when Midnights came out. On my Tumblr, I literally said an announcement in August and on October 21st, and I said the date added up to 13 somehow or something. I'm so... Next, music video on release day. This is something that's been she's been doing for the past couple of album releases since Folklore, I think. I can't remember if she came, maybe the Lover music video might have came out on the day Lover came out also. So I feel like this is a pretty like free space type one, because she's done it for every other record, especially if she doesn't do a pre-release single. I think we're probably gonna have a music video on release day. Next is Soundwave production. If you don't know who Soundwave is, He helped, I can't remember what song it was. I think it was Lavender Haze, maybe, on Midnights. And he is one of Kendrick Lamar's like main producers. And obviously Jack Antonoff is one of Taylor Swift's main producers, and Jack Antonoff helped with helped I would say direct produce GNX by Kendrick Lamar. So obviously like all those people, and then there's a photo that was posted by Soundwave of so I feel like all those people have been in the vicinity. Kendrick Lamar was seen leaving like a party at her house, or like at Electric Lady Studio or something in the past couple of years. Yeah, I think Soundwave we're gonna get some Soundwave production or on this album. Next is a lyric about how opposites attract. Kind of like the "You know how to ball, I know Aristotle" lyric, kind of just like I'm a pop star and you're a football player, I'm and but opposites attract, like a lyric about kind of like that. Next, invisible string callback. I got this from someone else's, but I completely agree. I think there's gonna be some type of callback to that song. Lyric about driving with a top down. If you guys remember the first time she went to a game and we saw them together, there's photos of them driving in in his like a Cadillac. I don't know if it's a Cadillac, whatever, convertible car, whatever, with the top down, and everyone was freaking out because people were like couldn't believe that Taylor Swift would drive in a car like that out of just like security concerns and stuff. So I feel like there's gonna be a lyric about that, kind of reminiscent of like style, like wind in my hair type thing. All too well something also. And then Vegas slash casino reference. Obviously, the first Super Bowl she was with him. My ADHD is freaking out right now. My leg is like bouncing. The first Super Bowl they won while they were dating was in Vegas, and afterwards they went to that party and they were playing You Belong With Me. And I just feel like, I don't know if, obviously I don't know if they've been back to Vegas or whatever, but I just feel like there's gonna be some type of reference to like Vegas or like casinos. I for a little bit thought the whole aesthetic of the album was gonna be like casino core, but I don't really think that anymore. But I think there's gonna be some time. She already likes referencing stuff like that, like Poker Face and stuff. So I just feel like there's gonna be even more of a reference to that night and celebrating and stuff. Next is a rap feature. I have Kendrick question mark. I feel like that if there is a rap feature by a male rapper, I feel like Kendrick's the most one I can think of. Again, he was seen at Electric Lady Studios and stuff. That one had been working on GNX, but you know, like Taylor Swift is always up in there, so she might have been like, "Hey, you wanna do something for my next album?" So you never know. So I think rap features a good, and even if it's like, you know how like, no, never mind. Next track list gets leaked. This is just for like a prediction for the pandemonium that always ensues upon a new Taylor Swift album. Pisses me off every time, but I feel like it's just like happened with, except for it has happened. The last time it didn't happen was obviously with Evermore, so I feel like it's kind of just like inevitable that even if it's just hours before the album comes out, that the track list will get leaked, because as soon as those albums are in Target stores, like in the back, the track list gets leaked. So I feel like it's kind of inevitable unless she doesn't do physical copies right off the bat, which I think is not gonna happen unless it was another surprise drop, which I don't think it will be. So yeah, I think it's inevitable the track list will get leaked, which sucks. I feel like she sometimes probably comes up with such interesting ways to release the tracks, but she like can't do it because it gets leaked. But I would say I think that she should release the track list like earlier, if that makes sense. Like I feel like she tries to do a thing where she like waits a long time, like up until, like, I know she had the Midnight's Mayhem that was supposed to go from like the beginning of September to right before the album dropped. But then the album ended up like the track list got like at like the end of September or something. Um so she ended up just putting it all out. Tortured Poets, she literally put out the track list like 2 days later because it got leaked. Or at least apparently it did. I never saw it. I only saw it when she announced it, so but apparently it had gotten leaked. So I just hope that she can do something really cool with it, and she does it like a good while before, and then the track list can't get leaked. Like I have this on here, but I want it to not. The other one is like album leak, and I don't even want to think about that. I hate that. Next, Aaron production. I recently just saw something that said that like Aaron is working on TS12 with her. For a second I didn't want to put it on there, but I just think like at this point like she's worked with him ever since Folklore. So Aaron production. Next, friendship bracelet reference. We know that like friendship bracelets became such a big thing with Taylor. Yes, they were a thing before Taylor lyric and Eras tour, but they became even bigger with her, and they became very synonymous with the fandom and also with her relationship, because Travis did that whole thing where he put his number on a friendship bracelet and wanted to give it to her. So I feel like we're gonna get a callback to friendship bracelets referencing the start of their relationship, or maybe even a song about the fans. Even it could be about the Eras tour or something, being like, oh yeah. Next, lyric about being in a long distance relationship. They were pretty much essentially in a long distance relationship throughout the entire Eras tour and football season. So, the first year they're together. So I feel like we are gonna get like, I don't know if it's gonna be like a comeback be here thing, but I just feel like we're gonna get like some type of lyric about being away from your significant other. Next, we have a friendship breakup song. This one is kind of controversial because I know people have their thoughts about her and Blake Lively and all that, and what really happened. And like I wasn't that interested in it enough to really dive into it to see, like, it's not even about that. I just think that obviously there was some type of thing that happened in their relationship, because Taylor went from being seen with Blake all the time to not. You know, like if Taylor went out with a group of girls, Blake was in that group. And I feel like that hasn't happened in a long time, and so I just think that it might not even be about her actually, but I just think we will get some type of song about a friendship breakup or kind of like closure. Yeah. So next, no pre-release single. I know people are really hoping for one. I just think at this point I just am going to assume that we are not getting a pre-release single ever again. I mean, like, she hasn't done it since Lover. I just don't think we're gonna do it. And she's an albums artist, and sometimes when she does put out singles, they don't chart as well. The whole album charts as a whole, more so than just one singular single. So I feel like she realizes that and is like, I'm an albums artist, not a singles artist. So putting out the album as a collective in one works better. And just seeing what songs take off and stuff. New York / a New York place, a place in New York is referenced. I think Tortured Poets was one of her first albums, like one of her only albums since she went pop that like does that. And it Folklore, I think. Well, actually, Folklore does have New York references because she talks about like the High Line. Evermore, I don't think Evermore has any New York places mentioned, but in a lot of her albums she mentions New York or a place in New York, so yeah, it's in there. Next, using a color to describe an emotion. She does this all the time. Obviously the big one is red. She's also used blue a lot to describe her emotion. and gold. So I think we're gonna get her using a color to describe an emotion. Next, reference to Cupid's arrow. There's been a lot of, I guess Taylor Nation has been posting the like heart emoji with the arrow through it a lot, and then on her Speak Now merch, she has a heart with a quill pen, I think, with a quill going through it, and I feel like we're gonna get some Miss Poetry little Cupid's arrow, especially like Travis plays at Arrowhead Stadium, so I feel like we're gonna get some type of Cupid's arrow reference. 16 tracks. I feel like this is just like the sweet number to choose when guessing this, because Taylor Swift will never have less than 13 tracks on an album, and the amount she could go for how much she would have it is infinite, but I feel like 16 is like a good spot where I think for like a standard album. I'm sure she'll have a deluxe. I don't think she can resist it. So I feel like she's gonna have some type of deluxe, but I feel like the standard edition will have 16 tracks. And lastly, we have Jack Antonoff production. I mean, how can you not? I feel like it's a even if he just works on one song, he's gonna be on there somewhere. So yeah, so that was my TS12 bingo card before we know anything about it. I hope you guys liked this. I'm hoping that I can upload. Oh, let me tell you some video ideas I have. I like to do that. I want to do an 100 bucket list where I tell you guys my bucket list of 100 things, but I need to come up with what those 100 things are. And I'm doing, if you are not new here and you watch my videos, actually, I had a video where I had a thing where I watched a movie every day for the Christmas season, and I told you guys all the movies I was watching. I'm doing that for autumn and Halloween, so I'll probably be making a video where I tell you guys all the movies that I'll be watching this season starting September 1st. So yeah, I will see you guys later. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video, and I will see you guys later. Bye.